Welcome back to Surviving Mars. And where did we leave it last episode? We left it last episode with these two clusters of buildings, each with their own power source. And now we can see next to the concrete building, we're starting to get just lots and lots of rock that we don't want. So let's see if we can build something. I want to just build a, let's see, not a dome, storage, and a dumping site. Yeah, dumping site. Stores waste rock is produced as a side product of different mining activities. Doesn't require any resources. Cool, so we can just place it wherever we like. Well, let's place it on the edge somewhere. I don't want it too close to our buildings, but the drones are going to have to go there. Hopefully, that should take care of everything. Let's restart the time. And actually, let's speed up. Really want to change these to explicit numbers. They're much easier to get to. Oh, and by the way, yes, you can rotate buildings. I didn't realize you could because they weren't Q and E, but I did look in the controls. It's R and T, which is thoroughly weird, but that should let me tessellate wind quite nicely. And they're not even arranged. Are they arranging this in any kind of decent order? Looks like they're just dumping it, as you'd expect. Our little handy explorer is still out here doing its scanning. We've scanned a few sectors so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah,
Anomaly analyzed.
Okay, new text available for research. That's unlocked some research for us. But yeah, I've added the rest of these on this peninsula to the scanner. And are you running out of batteries yet? You're about halfway. So let's send you across to maybe here. And you can always come back to the recharge building if necessary, which is up. Where's my recharge building? Oh, in fact, it just needs to get to a power cable. So yeah, it's the RC Explorer, not the recharger. So we can just click on that little node there and it'll start recharging. Okay, so what do we want to build next? Before I build something, it turns out my Explorer just ran out of power just short of getting back to base. Didn't finish off that anomaly, but I'm just going to recharge this one, and hopefully I'll have the option to recharge once I send it out there as a sort of mobile power. And I don't need that much power, but we're just going to use it as a sort of mobile battery. So let's send you out here, over here, and let's turn up the speed. It may drag its rover, its drones with it, but there we go. All right, so can I recharge now? There we go, transferring power. This one just needs enough just to get back to base, so let's just send it back now. Yep, here we go, and I can park back where it was, and you can now come in
approaching
and recharge. Dust storm, so that's gonna play heck with my solar panels, but well, we have wind turbines, so hopefully that's not going to destroy them. Although on Mars, dust storms really aren't anything like in The Martian. They just don't have a lot of power behind them, even though the dust particles are going at hundreds of miles per hour. There's not enough pressure for that to actually really mean anything to infrastructure, so hopefully they've modeled that in the game. Yeah, but it's a disaster and it starts in 12 hours. Wonderful. Okay, so here is the dust storm.
We've analyzed material from the anomaly.
Okay.
And it completely validates our hypothesis on abiogenic petroleum.
Abiogenic petroleum, you say? Okay, so we get a physics research boost, an engineering research boost, or 500 million funding. We're going to get the funding.
Research complete.
Okay, so it's finished on one set of research, and we should look at what it's going to next. It's going to take this to get some more research funding. And where's my RC Explorer? There you are. You've got mostly full battery. That's good. We found water down here, so that is another good thing. Let's take a look. So having some ability to extract water later will be good, assuming we can get there. And I'm not sure that Explorer can actually get to this sector. And have we explored all the usable land? I guess it's got to scan all of these. So for the moment, let's just send it home. It should do just fine. So building's not working. Yeah, so our moisture evaporator can't produce any water while there's a dust storm. Unfortunately. Not much I can do about that. And with this, because this is a really hard start, we have to wait a while. If I go into production buildings, you'll see I can't build polymer factories because I have to research technology or electronics or machine parts, and we've only got a limited supply of those. So I think what I'm going to have to do is send the rocket back and maybe get more of those so we don't run out. However, the rocket can't produce fuel just
Sector
yet.
scanned.
Okay. It can't produce fuel yet because this is probably going to run out of water. We're okay at the moment. How much water is left in here? A little bit. Rocket is up to 50 fuel. So let's just accelerate time a little bit, and I'm going to skip forward, hopefully until that dust storm goes away, or until our rocket fills up. Just to bring you back a little bit early, I've shut down these buildings now. Yeah, you're insufficient power. Although I guess I may have to power that one back up. Let me just make sure the accumulator's back on. It takes polymers, that's not good. Yeah, so we may have to move that over. I guess we could turn back on these. They only take metals. Yeah. So if I turn you off again. And yeah, it's because it's nighttime that isn't working. So let's turn it back on for now. And we'll turn it back off during the day. So the reason why I'm turning this off is because we've just run out of machine parts and electronics and polymers, and so the good thing is that things like this
Sector scanned.
only require metals. The water tower only requires metals. Unfortunately, the wind turbines require half a machine part. However, we could shut those down and run things off solar if need be. And similarly, the accumulators also run off polymers, or at least for their maintenance. So daytime it is. Let's just shut you down. And I guess we can just shut that one down for now as well. We shouldn't need an accumulator here because these are just running constantly. As soon as they get up to the end here, I may have to move some solar panels or make some solar panels. In fact, can we actually do that? Power. Large solar panels just takes metals. And we've got 30 metals at the moment. There's more hanging around in case we need to actually grab it. So that will let us do that. Although we may have to deconstruct and salvage these temporarily. In any case, we are now producing fuel again, I hope. How much is in the water tower? Oh, no, you're empty. But this is only just turned back on, so that's expected. And we've got 63 in the rocket. This is going to take a while. I'll wait off camera. And just to demonstrate, even though we can actually salvage these buildings, we get a little bit of machine parts back. We get like half a machine part. Which isn't showing up. Maybe it's been reused, but we can't really remove or clear the land because we need more technology to remove that. So just be careful about that. However, we can rebuild this if we want to. I'm not sure how, can that, let's see how much that costs. Interesting. If they rebuild it, does that restart? That restarts this whole maintenance thing. I'm hopeful that did actually use up some machine parts. Otherwise, this is going to be a bit of a not a bug, well, kind of a bug. Yeah, an exploit. We'll see if that's the case. However, I did put up some solar panels here, so they will be able to generate power during the daytime. And we have this, which is going to cause problems for us, but otherwise, fine. My mistake when I said we were out of machine parts, I was looking at the rocket, and that was my mistake. So those of you who commented already, I did notice it before the end of the episode. Yeah, so we do have a few left, but I really want to conserve these. We do have a lot of concrete that's full on this, so we could put another concrete stockpile down. Food and rare metals we haven't got any of yet, but regular metals, you know, we're probably running short on it, and at some point we should get it from a metal extractor over here. And I think we can build a metal extractor. You're in production metals extractor, yeah. You will, however, take 2 machine parts for maintenance, so I'm holding back on that here as much as I can. And it needs 12 workers, so yeah. How much the contract? Yeah, it needs people. That's no good. Okay, how's our refueling doing? 85. Okay, it's nearly full. So we can take a look at the resupply screen. And we don't have any available rockets at the moment. That's a bit of a problem. So I guess we've got to send... how much does it cost to buy a rocket? 3 billion. We could do, but I'm not sure if we're going to need that for other things. Particularly for buying more stuff to put on the rocket that we're going to return. So, yeah, we shall do that. We can't salvage it, change priority, So initialize launch sequence. The rocket has to be refueled, any remaining resources on board will be lost. So we just need to wait until that hits 100. And if by magic... Yep, we're now at 100. So it's ready for takeoff. I think we've got everything out of it. Nothing on board that I can see. So let's tell it to take off. Are you going to take off? Take off in progress. Maybe I should speed up time a little bit. There it goes.
Achieved.
Whoops. There and back again. Please don't destroy anything around me. Please don't destroy anything around me. Off it goes. Drones with no controller too. Yeah, I was expecting that to happen. Unfortunately, because that acts as one sort of control center for the drones, well, not that one can only control so many drones. So you can research it so that you can control more. The moment it has a limit of 8. It's not too much of a problem at the moment, but until that rocket comes back, we can't control the other 2 drones. You can build drone hubs, but they again need prefab parts or research, just like everything else. So yeah, definitely this is a slow start, but I'm cutting much of it out for you. And then let's look at resupply. I assume it's going to take some time before we can actually, get those supplies from that rocket that's gone its way back. Yeah, there we are. Traveling to Earth. Glitter hoof number 1. Flight progress 2%. Let's see how fast. If I triple the speed, 3, 4. So that's not too bad when we're on triple speed. Even though in real life, this is Sol 15. Martian days. If that, I know it's a game, but this is one day we're on at the moment. If it can get 10% of the way back to Earth in one in-game day, that's a fast rocket. It does take like 6 months plus to get back to Earth from Mars, unfortunately. So, and that's something people are trying to shorten, but you can only shorten it so much because you only have limited fuel, and that's a whole KSP discussion. Anyway, it's 30% by the way back to Earth in one day. Ignore the inconsistencies. Ignore the inconsistencies, Grey. It's not a problem. And now we've got a second disaster, a cold wave. Now, that affects some buildings just like the dust storm affects some buildings. So I think primarily that's going to be the water tower. Not that we need it particularly at the moment because we've got 15 fuel stored up. I may have to build another stockpile actually because our rocket's nearly back to Earth. And I'd like to have some of that on hand. When it gets back to Earth, we're going to order some polymers, electronics, and machine parts and just sort of restock. 15 of each would do, but we'll see how much they cost once we get there. And yeah, we're going to have to consider what we do about metals because we're going to need a metal extractor soon, which probably means we need colonists and everything else. So yeah, maybe one more run of unmanned stuff and we'll see how well we do. We've also got 85 concrete, so there's no need to really run this for now. And we are fine. So that cold wave, what else does it affect? Does it affect you? No, that's just dust storms. Dust storms, okay. I think it will also affect these pipes, so I'm not sure the pipes will work either. Will you let me select you? We'll see. Maybe it'll freeze. Also, got to watch out for the power accumulators if they've modeled batteries. having this already on cold terrain, so this might not be so good, but let's restart. And the rocket should be to Earth in just a few seconds. And there it is. Okay, so if we go back to our rocket screen, we've got one available rocket now. So we can get a cargo rocket going. And let's have a look at, so we want polymers, don't we? So that is already going to cost quite a bit of money. However, it is, you know, useful. We do actually need that. We may want to get some metals as well. But that depends how much space we've got on this thing. Cargo capacity, 32,000, 32 tons. So prefab buildings. We could get a drone hub, but we've got the mobile hub when the rocket's away, so that's not much of a problem. Fuel refiner, we've already got one, and we only need really one for the rocket. However, it'd be nice to be able to make our own local machine parts, electronics, and polymers. They're all quite heavy, though. They're all 10 tons. So, if we get a machine parts factory, electronics, that comes from rare metals, this comes from metals, polymers comes from water and fuel. So those two are probably going to be the most suitable. Got 12,000 cargo capacity left. How much is a drone hub, I wonder? 5 tons, 150 million. Okay, let's go back. We don't need another explorer. Transport moves resources, so that's sort of a supply route. It might be nice to have one of those at some point. But I think I want to make sure we've got some metals. So I'm just going to take up some of that. We've got 2,000 kilograms left because we don't have any, remember, we don't have any colonists. So having them supply metals would be good. And I guess the one thing, what is it? We've got prefabs. So we're not going to have electronics, so maybe we better increase our number of electronics. Okay, so funding is down nearly 2 billion. But let's launch it. So now it's going to come all the way back to Mars, but in the meantime, we're going to have to keep deal with that cold wave. So here comes the cold wave. And let's stop the time for a minute. Power consumption of buildings and drones will be increased. If a power shortage occurs, buildings may freeze. Frozen buildings can be repaired after the disaster ends. Oh, so they're going to need more power, and it's nighttime. Okay, let me just turn this back on again. It's going to require maintenance. That's fine. I think we have just enough spare. Yeah, we have some machine parts to be able to do that. We may have to repair that afterwards. Yes, that building's been turned off. That's fine. This isn't going to work. So let's just see how our base does, shall we? There's not much extra I could do with that subsurface heater. That would protect the water tower, of course. But do I have any such thing at the moment? Does it let me build one? Infrastructure, subsurface heater. 15 metals and 5 machine parts. Nope. Can't afford that. So it's going to take 2.5 days for that cold wave to start working. So which buildings aren't working? The water tower. And you, because you haven't actually been repaired. The drones are working, but it's taking them a while. Oh no, wait. Are you just recharging? You are. And you're using 100% more power. Okay. So will you get back to work? Will that drone have repaired it? Looks like it is. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so we can get some power running, and we've got those working as well. So now we're just waiting for a rocket to arrive. It's 84%, so let's just fast forward, 85, 86. And I'll bring it back down in the same spot, and hopefully our drones will unload from it. And let's just take a look at the power supplies for these, the Explorer and the Rover. Okay, not much else I can do really. Are you frozen? Yep, it's frozen. It can be repaired afterwards. Hopefully it's not going to cost too much to repair, just metals, I hope. But we'll see. And, okay, so our rocket's ready. Let's just change this. Ready to land. And, shall we put it in the same place that we left? Yeah. Let's tell it to land here. So it'll arrive, hopefully. Let's just speed up again. And we're down to 2 days.
Sector scanned.
In comes our rocket. Oh, with lots of supplies. Okay. And we should get our drones back, hopefully. Yeah, they're all heading in now. So, it's got our polymers, electronics, and machine parts. It's our resupply from Earth. Oh, so great. And it's got some metals as well. So, that's going to be needing refueling. But let's see how our drones cope. They're heading off to unload into our stockpile. Oh, that's so much better. So much more comfortable. And how much fuel have we actually got? We've got something like 26 fuel. Okay, so we can quarter fuel up the rocket ready to return. And then we've got to decide whether... Well, I don't think we can get passengers yet because we need somewhere for them to live. And that would require a dome, I imagine. Let's just see. Homes, education and research. Living quarters, apartments, no. Dome services, no. Domes themselves, so basic dome. We'll take 80 concrete, which is a lot, 20 metals, and 10 polymers. And it just takes concrete for maintenance, which is actually good. However, it will take 1 water and 1 O2 consumption. Alright, so we don't have any way of creating
Sector
O2.
scanned.
Thank you. We don't have any way of creating O2 just yet. And power, of course, we can do. But I'm a little bit concerned about metals. We've got enough to build that, but I almost want... Well, we can't build a metals extractor, I assume, because didn't it say it required... Yeah, 12 workers. So we need people for that, I would assume. Unfortunately. And it contaminates nearby buildings with dust, which is not too much of a problem as it's right next to a concrete extractor, I guess. Ooh, and cold wave, it's 1 sol 3 hours. Okay, let's move to the end of the cold wave and see what we have to do for repairs. So as it says at the top of the screen, it's a bit too early to place a dome. We need some oxygen and water supplies. So we're going to need probably another one of these evaporators. I may well bring another one back from Earth. It's a prefab building at the moment. We don't have the technology to build it, I don't think. Yeah, that needs prefabs. We can extract water from underground deposits, but then our nearest underground deposit of water is over here. It's quite far away. However, what we can do is build a Moxie. Produces oxygen, doesn't seem to consume anything but power. So presumably it's taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and converting into carbon and oxygen with some power. So yeah, we're gonna. That looks like it's got some pipe outputs, and I think I'm gonna leave it. Let's just rotate this, can we? Yeah, we can. So that can go there. We can run a power cable down the back of it. So let's grab a power cable, and that should be enough to connect to it, and it'll pull from this accumulator. What? This is some still power cable selected. Okay, so that's going to need polymers, but we can turn it back on now, I think. And do you need repairs, or have you been repaired automatically? It's empty. And you are producing water, but only 1 per hour. It's not great. And this does produce oxygen, but it needs to be connected to an oxygen consumer, fair enough, or maybe a tank.
Research complete.
Can I build a tank for oxygen? Is that one of the things I would have hoped that it would? Hydroponics farm produces food. That needs workers. The farm we don't have the research for yet.
Sector scanned.
Pipes will what we need to transport this oxygen tank. There you are. So it costs 3 and maintenance of 1. Okay, so again, if we move this to, say, where are you? Yeah, we've got a shared spot there. So if we put this oxygen tank to have that shared spot, we can then put a pipe here. And it should connect to both buildings, I would have hoped. If not, then we can always put it one further down. In fact, I think I had to do that with these. Oh no, it's fine. It's connected, I assume. There you go. So the oxygen tank should start building up. Yep, there it is. And then that technically means we can put a dome down, I assume. Although building it in the right place. Okay, cold terrain. Will that be good enough? Well, we can certainly connect it to oxygen and power. And so if I just click here, we can connect it. They may not actually be finished, but we can connect it to this for oxygen. Power can come in this way. And maybe we even move the accumulator if we need to, or something along those lines. And I can cancel this construction if I want to. Concrete, metals, and polymers is what we're going to need for it, but at least we got the dome started. And then, how far are you? You're 64 on fuel, which is doing pretty well. We're probably going to need more concrete now, because this is going to take 80. What have we got? We've got 85. But I think they're pulling from this first, I assume.
Resources are low.
Yes, we're low on metals. That's going to be a problem. I'm going to have to bring more metals in, aren't I? What have we got here? Low on metals, low on metals. In fact, we're out of metals. Okay, so maybe we have to cancel this for now, which we should be able to do before it's built. Cancel construction. Yep, there they go. They'll bring that back. So we know we can actually get everything connected. We just need resources to do it. And that means I may have to get more metals. Are you metal or are you just rock? If I move our rover closer, will that let the little drones gather any metals? Don't see any more easily accessible. So we may have to bring some more back from Earth if indeed our drones don't go and get it. Auto saving. Yeah, so I did find some more metals. All the way up here, we got some right about here. I think that's metal. Looks to be the case. And here as well. And here. But we don't have the RC transporter to be able to deal with, you know, remote resources. I guess we could go and build a stockpile over there and maybe just hang out with our drone rover. However, we're almost refueled again. So we may well want to go and bring a transporter over here as a sort of utility vehicle for moving stuff around, like resources. In addition, I'm rethinking about putting a dome here. We've got a rare metal extractor here, so we can get that from the colonists, but really what they're going to need is up here. We're going to want that fairly close to the dome. I'm not sure if the dome will fit here. Let's actually just check. Basic dome. Will you fit anywhere in here? You'll fit there. That much is for certain. It's cold terrain, but there's not much I can do about that except building it out here somewhere. Too far from working drone commander. Yep. Or at least to build it. But, you know, there is a rare metals extractor there as well. Ideally, I'd like it kind of here. Ooh, actually. Would they get rid of those rocks, I wonder? Because what we want to do is to make sure that the that metals point and the concrete point and the rare metals is sort of in range for the dome. That may mean we may have to put, you know, power or run a long pipe for oxygen or move the oxygen framework, but I sort of really want the stuff up here, unfortunately. But that will do for now. Let's speed things back up, and I'm going to reorder that transport. It's going to take a little while for that to fill up, but assume when we next come back, and that's going to be next episode, we'll bring back a transporter, and probably what have we got low on? Is it just metals, polymers again? Yeah. Oh, in fact, hang on. Our polymers are down here, aren't they? Yeah. So actually, do we just move our rover in range, and maybe they'll go and pick that up? There's one heading down here, but it's not doing too well. They're going to deploy, and hopefully, yeah, they'll start taking stuff back to the stockpile. So we have some polymers, but it's metals that we're really short on. Yeah, not many left there. So we'll bring some more back from Earth, and maybe another prefab or two. Hope you'll join me for that next episode. We've got a resupply rocket going. I think one more unmanned trip, and then we'll have to think about bringing some colonists back. Hopefully you join me for that. Feel free to thumbs up and subscribe and share if you haven't already. And as always, thanks for watching.